Good evening. Anyone out there? Or is this going to be a bust? I wouldn't know about that, Tangent Trails. This is a pretty amateur operation here. Looks like you might be the only one, though. Oh, I just got notification to watch my own YouTube channel. That's fun. How are you this evening? Can you see me? Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Good to hear, Tangent. Well, if you ever had any delusion I knew what I was doing, this should soon dispel that, because I have no idea what I'm doing on this thing this evening. So, but true to form, I have my coffee ready with my new mug, courtesy of Leave No Trace. Hanging in the hammock sounds like a pretty good place to be. I'm just chilling out here on a nice cool Montana evening, drinking up some coffee, maybe answering a few questions if you guys have them, or telling stories. I don't know, whatever happens. Where are you at right now, Kevin? North Carolina. I have family in South Carolina, so that's pretty awesome. It's hard to imagine it's too chilly out there, but I guess it's all pretty relative. Hey, Snackbox, how's it going? So yeah, Tangent Trails, they did open up some. In fact, the northeast entrance of the park opened up just a couple days ago. And so, of course, they opened up on the exact same day that the Beartooth Pass closed for the season, which is typical of the government entities around here. But yes, so northeast entrance is open. The north entrance is open, but still temporarily open. The main route probably will be closed for a couple more years, I would imagine. But yeah, things are kind of slowly coming back together. There's still a few trailheads that are inaccessible. The West Fork Road is still closed. The North Fork you can get to, the Lake Fork you can get to, but the bridge is out at the trailhead. And then, the Stillwater is still completely closed. They're still having to repave that. And last I heard, East Rosebud, which is the end of the Beaten Path Trail, probably won't be open to the public, at least for another 2 years. So I was out there, you might have seen the video, and it is just, it's not a question of repaving it because there's nothing to pave. They're going to have to completely rebuild the road surface. So it's going to take a while. Hi. Hello, Details. Good you were both here. Don't know if you're watching on the same computer or still using the opposing studios. So tonight I am enjoying some decaf coffee. Don't judge. I want to sleep tonight. From Elkhorn Coffee Roasters in Bozeman. So if you've ever had any product from Montana, you'll know it either has an elk, a bear, a moose, or the numbers 406 on it. Everything from Montana has those things on it. So, all right. Any other questions for the evening? Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing here, so This is a learning process. I'm not as good at it as outside comfort zone is. Snackbox is quite a bit better at this than I am. 406 is our one and only area code. So any number in Montana, you have to type in the number 406 to achieve it. So that's a state this massive. We still have just barely over a million people in it. So we only have one area code so far. I don't have any snacks to give away, Tangent Trails. I'll have to contact Jared for that. He's the keeper of the snacks. For the winter, any big trips? Not planned yet. We're kind of waiting to see what our season is going to be like as far as the weather goes. I do have an overnight plan for next weekend, so hopefully that'll be fun. Nothing exciting because we're kind of in that shoulder season and trying to see what the weather is going to do. But ideally, I'd like to get out and do some snowshoeing and some cross-country skiing if the snow cooperates. Last year, we didn't have enough snow to do any of those things for until almost February, which is kind of odd. So the mountain weather is fluxing greatly right now. But hopefully, we'll see. Might try to get out to a Forest Service cabin somewhere, see if we can get one of those rented and either snowshoe out to it or ski. Any good gear news? Our shop recently got our first shipment of the new InReach messengers. So if you're not familiar with the InReach messenger, it is Garmin's take on the Zoleo. So it has the same seamless transition from Wi-Fi, cellular, and satellite. And it uses, instead of a dedicated number like the Zoleo does, it has a dedicated app. So you just have to download the app and then you can contact anybody through that without having to go through any of the online portal that you do currently have to go in with the other InReaches. And it also has a claimed 28-day battery life. And it is able to do some back charging. So you can use it as an emergency battery backup to charge up your cell phone, at least as long as you have more than 20% battery life. Otherwise, it shuts that down to preserve its ability to send messages. Unlike the Zoleo, it does have a screen and it has buttons which will allow you to use it independently of a device if you wanted to. But from what I understand, it's an absolute nightmare to try to do that way. So, but that's kind of the newest thing that we've gotten, and I haven't heard anything really on the horizon. This has not been a great year for innovation again, because right now most of the companies are just desperately trying to get product out. So I have not been to either of those cabins. We have quite a few pretty awesome ones that are here in Montana that I've been to before. There's a couple in the Crazies, and then there's some on the eastern side of the Beartooths cabin-wise that are pretty awesome. And yeah, there's even some in the flat areas of the state, which there are quite a bit of those flat areas in the state, even though most of Montana is known for mountains. But yeah, if you were wondering why the InReach Messenger is more expensive than Zoleo, that's why. It has a lot more features added into it. It also can do weather updates without a third-party operation. So looks like it's a pretty sweet little thing. It definitely does not have any of the navigational features that some of the other InReaches do. So if you're looking for those, you might want to continue to look into the Mini or one of their GPS versions that has the InReach technology in it as well. It is pretty much primarily a messenger. I think you can do a backtrack or to a waypoint, but that's about it. I'm not sure that you have the tracking feature online. I would imagine you probably do, but I'm not sure about that yet. So Explorer, yeah, that's the large version, the full size version of the InReach. Then there's the InReach Mini, the InReach Mini 2, and they have a couple of GPS units that have the InReach stuff crammed into them they're like some weird number with letters and alphabet stuff, and we don't carry them, so I don't know what they are. So top 3 cold weather backpacking meals. Anything that's warm and in my stomach. I'm not a picky eater. Biscuits and gravy. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that one. I do like the Hatch Green Chili Mac and Cheese by Backpacker Pantry. It's not a meal, but hot chocolate is an absolute go-to, especially in the evening. It's kind of becoming my new thing. So that kind of a coffee substitute, considering I'm a coffee snob. What are your top 3, master of the snack? Turn the tables on you, make you do part of this too. There's a lot of delay in this. This is really fun. I don't get as many questions, so I just have to sit here and make up time. Force you guys to sit here and listen to me. I agree, Tangent Trails. I think grating chili is a greatly underutilized ingredient for backcountry meals. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with the biscuits and gravy. I've heard that the Peak Refuels are the best. I like Mountain House, but I haven't had a chance to try the Peak Refuel. My buddy Connor swears by them, but like one bag of them has like 1,200 calories in it. So mac and cheese, mashed potatoes with spicy sauce because he's spicy. And all things soup. Tomato soup is pretty good. I don't know that I would take it on trail because it doesn't, I don't think, have a lot of calories or substance to it. But my absolute favorite meals ever is grilled cheese and tomato soup because I'm an eternal 12-year-old. So you guys got any good trips coming up? Anybody out there hopefully going to get out and do some stuff? Tomato soup is for communists. That is sacrilege, sir. How dare you? My biggest winter hiking fail. It technically was fall. However, it was winter-like conditions up there, so I will count it. But probably was my trip up to the Crazies a couple years ago with my buddies Ryan and Anthony. And we were hiking in, and it was snowing, and it was fairly decently chilly, but I think we were well prepared for that. What we weren't prepared for was the wind, and we heard trees falling while we were hiking, and that should have been the big red flag that told us to turn around, but it somehow was not. We got up to the top, and we picked a spot because we thought it'd be a great place to camp because there wasn't as much snow there. And the reason there wasn't that much snow there was because it was right in the wind. And at one point I was getting something out of my pack and a big gust of wind hit, and I looked up and I saw that Ryan's tent with all of his gear in it had been blown literally out of the ground and was 23 feet in the air, spewing gear all over the valley and the snow. And so we packed up and hightailed it down, found a place to camp. It was in the tree line at almost dark. And by the time we had a fire going and everything, I think we were all pretty hypothermic, and it was not one of my best moments. That sounds like an awesome time, Kevin. It's one of the great things about being in the East Coast. You don't have to worry about snow, changing your plans too much. Although I'm guessing that the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachians get a fair amount in that area. Of course, Ryan comes in at the exact moment I'm telling the story about his tent. Sorry, Ryan. Trip to the labor and delivery room with a 50-pound pack. I wonder whose fault that is. That should be pretty awesome, though. I'm super excited for you guys. Snack box. So, yeah, Kevin, it was pretty epic moments. One of my favorite little stories to tell, much at Ryan's kind of expense. Because I always leave out the part about my tent being completely flattened and broken in the process, and shaking uncontrollably trying to drink whiskey around the campfire. That was my bad. Mostly red wine spot. It'll do it. I admittedly don't know much about, I'm going to say this wrong, Piscal, maybe. I have to check into that. Sounds really awesome. The Carolinas are absolutely gorgeous. I have spent some time in that area, Ken, because I have family there. And yeah, I'd love to explore more of it. Had to made the decision to move out west a couple years ago, and now I can't seem to get out of it. So maybe one day I'll make it over there again. We actually do have some snow in the mountains already. It's kind of a slight dusting in most areas that you can kind of get to, but some of the peaks and stuff are already pretty white. And, it might stay that way for a while, and it could dump 3 feet overnight. So great leaf peeping. Man, I miss the leaf peeking. Even Ohio had some amazing leaf coverage. We just don't get it, a whole lot of it out here, mostly aspens, which are gorgeous, mixed in with the pines and stuff. And then, of course, we have some ornamental trees here in Billings that I was going through the park, and it was pretty decent, but nothing like where I went to school in the Hocking Hills region in Ohio. It's gorgeous. So, yeah, awesome leaf peeping. Something that I miss about the East. But we have mountains. Hammock hang. That sounds interesting. I have never been to one of those. I've heard of them. I am not a hammock guy. So I would probably not be much fun at one of those, maybe. I don't know. Yes, aspens and cottonwoods. We have abundance of cottonwoods for sure. Well, Pisgao. Thank you for the lesson, Professor. Cottonwoods do deposit quite a bit, and they are epically good at rotting out and falling over. But we do have quite a bit of the cottonwoods down, especially down by the Yellowstone. Yellowstone has quite a few cottonwoods around it, so pretty cool trees. They grow pretty rapidly. Linville Gorge area is beautiful. Gorges are pretty awesome. I used to spend a lot of time in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky when I lived in Ohio, and we had a small gorge in Ohio where I was at. It was called Clifton Gorge, and it was kind of located just outside of Yellow Springs, Ohio. It was pretty awesome. Well, we'll give it another maybe 10 minutes here because I'm sure I'm probably not that entertaining tonight. I didn't know that, actually. Interesting. I didn't learn that in my dendrology class. So I can't remember what family the aspens were in. Best value for a two-person tent for a new backpacker. Oh, that's a tough one. Um, Probably the one that we sell at my shop that I steer people towards is the Marmot um, Catalyst 2. It's got kind of a weird layout that I'm not a huge fan of, but for the money and the value and durability, it's pretty good. It weighs around 5 pounds. Um, if you're looking to spend a little bit more, I'm a big fan of the Copper Spur. It's a pretty durable, straightforward tent. You get a lot of features for a relatively decent price. I know you guys aren't big Agnes fans, but that or the MSR Hubba Hubba two-person. So the Western Mountaineering Quilt, absolutely I am. I absolutely love that thing. It is turned out to be a great piece. And as I've gotten more and more used to using the quilt, I prefer it over the full sleeping bag. So unless it's going to get down probably below 25, I'm probably going to be using the quilt every single time. So can't recommend that one enough if you can find one. Western Mountaineering is slowly getting on top of things, but they are still a little bit behind. Although in theory, they're now accepting some special orders. So if you've been looking to get one, you could probably start trying now. Oh no, popcorn. Man, that's what I should have gotten. Now all you guys needed to do is hear me munch on popcorn the entire night. What would you say is the best piece of gear? I forgot I could do this. God, I suck at this. What would you say is the best single piece of gear ever made? Just name a few. Might think of, might make, and why you think so. Golly, nothing like putting somebody on the spot there. Best gear ever made. Sea to Summit Wilderness wet wipes. They are must-haves in my backpacking experience because there's nothing better than wiping the sweat off of your face in the middle of the night, because apparently I am a big dirt pansy. I'm pretty partial currently to the backpack. Yeah, that's a pretty good option. There wouldn't be a lot of backpacking without a backpack. I think one of the biggest innovations was the internal frame backpack. I have used both internal and external, and I know there are some external diehards out there, but I absolutely do love internals. And personally, I really enjoy my Exos by Osprey. That springboard back panel is just awesome. I'm a sweater, and it definitely keeps me a lot cooler being able to have that back airflow. So the inflatable air mattress is another must-have. If I don't sleep well, I am the grumpiest person in the morning. So I have heard a lot of good things about the duplex, and I know a lot of people that don't particularly care for the duplex, including my buddy Dave, who is not a big fan of the price of the duplex. But that is the name of the game in the outdoor world. If it's lightweight, it's going to cost more. Trekking poles, I think, is another really major innovation, especially as I get older and suffer from the trials and tribulations of beating my body to death in my 20s as a firefighter. So my knees are exceptionally happy about those. And of course, you will never not convince me that Crocs, best camp shoes ever made. That one will cause a fight, no doubt. So we got up to 7. I'm impressed. I thought for sure this was going to be a bust. I'm not nearly as entertaining as others are. I was wondering if Jeremiah and John, we're going to have a episode tonight. All right. Any last questions? I think I'll get ready to wrap this up so I'm not taking up too much more of your guys' evenings, although I appreciate you all coming out. I did have an article. I couldn't for the longest time either, Kevin. They are ugly as hell, but they are pretty comfortable. I did have an article that I was going to talk about if time permitted, or if there weren't a lot of questions. Maybe we can I'm going to wrap it up. Should do it with a wrap. That is one thing that you definitely do not want to hear from me, Mark. I am about as lame as possible. No, not going to happen. Not for all the money. And are you saying do it for the wrap or for the article? Waiting on a response. Because the wrap won't happen. The article, possibly. Hear what? The wrap? No. I don't want to do the wrap. I cannot rhyme. And I cannot come up with something that quickly. I will not give in to peer pressure. How dare you, Mark? How dare you? Wins the giveaway. Well, I'll tell you what, the next one, we might do a giveaway. I actually do have something to give. I managed to win 2 of these fanny packs from Osprey. So I don't have anything in place to do a giveaway tonight, but maybe I'll give away one of these next time. So stay tuned or come back something. Don't be too angry at me for being boring tonight. Some more of my outdoor industry swag. I won one from the rep that came to the store, and then I won one from Osprey's sales giveaway. And I'm probably not going to use either of them. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to ask before I tune out and get ready to do my other thing for the evening, which is another podcast I'll be on for my friend. I'm recording for my buddy Zach's podcast, the Wandering Ways podcast. I've been on it before, but they want to ask me about my summer, which was pretty light this year. All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming out and for asking some questions and for spending some time listening to my very ill-prepared little Q&A session. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their fall and hope you guys get out and do some hiking. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.